spouses, just know, I mean, I know there's a lot that goes on when it comes to taking care of a loved one that has memory loss, and whether whether it's dementia or Alzheimer's, no matter what it is, memory loss is memory loss. In my eyes, I guess I put it that way. Yes, there's probably 100 forms, but it's still memory loss, and the relationship does change because of the dementia. And I know in group yesterday, like I said, there was a lot of course, things, of course, a lot of situations going on. I can't tell you the situations, that kind of thing at all, but just a general lesson or thing that stuck out of my mind was just for me and for everybody that's listening as well. But like I said, when it comes to dementia and you trying to, of course, work through the situations with your partner, and their partner has dementia, they have memory loss, they're forgetting how to communicate, they're forgetting how to say I love you, they're forgetting how to even be intimate, any of those things. Like I said, that will definitely happen, unfortunately. I know a lot of times when you go to the doctor, doctors don't really tell you every single thing that's going to happen. But I'm hoping that I'm able to shed some light in some aspect when it comes to this. Because, like I said, I meet a lot, of course, a lot of folks all the time, in person and on the phone and on Zoom as well, who, of course, who are struggling with this and who don't know what to do either. A lot of things change when somebody has, like I said, memory loss. The mind is erasing, so all the things they used to do, the person that they used to be, all those things are fading slowly but surely. Some faster than others, actually, but some slowly but surely. And at some point, I know one spoke about there because I've heard many who are struggling with how their partner doesn't even know who they are anymore. They don't even know that they're even married to them. They don't know what their name. Well, of course, the name that usually goes kind of first, but or somewhere, not first, but somewhere in that area, in that arena as well, when they don't remember who you are. That is hard to deal with. Tears are shed. There's a lot of things. There's, of course, anxiety. There's a lot of feelings about, of course, guilt feelings, frustrated feelings, stressful feelings. You spent your life with this person. Now this person has no idea who you are. And in some cases, the person doesn't even want them in the household anymore. Talking about divorce and that kind of thing, which I know is the illness. But when you're actually going through something like that and you're hearing that being told to you, yes, you know it's the illness, but it does hurt your feelings too. It makes you feel bad. It hurts your feelings. And it's going to affect you. It's definitely unfortunate, like I said, for these diseases and illness with memory loss to come about. And like I said, to just take our loved ones away. I've dealt with that in my own family as well. It wasn't a spouse or a partner or that type of thing, but it was grandparents. But still, it's still hard to look at and hard to deal with every day. Caregivers go through a lot. It's not just the physical as far as getting the helping their loved one get up out the bed or walk or that type of thing, or helping them eat or bathe or shower. It's not just the physical. When you're a caregiver, because a lot of folks don't understand that the mental effects, the emotional things that happen, all the things that you have to deal with, somebody constantly repeating themselves, especially if it's your partner. And that partner may have been, I've known people who were working for NASA. They own businesses. They own real estate companies. They were the smartest people in the world. I guess I put it that way, in those particular fields. And it's happened to them too. And when you're dealing with somebody, you're the partner of a person that you know was smart and that was, of course, making money and that was running successful businesses and stuff like that. That is a mental wear and tear as well. You're missing and grieving the person that you used to know, and knowing that person would never come back. And there's nothing that you can do about it. It's definitely a sad situation to be in. It's heartfelt. It definitely, like I said, is frustrating as well and stressful. It's not just the physical, it's the mental too. You're waking up every day and the person doesn't even know who you are. They don't even want you there. I want a divorce. I don't know who you are. Get out of my house. I've seen the police get called on people, even though they were spouses. They've been together 30, 40, 50 years. But the person in their mind, they don't know who they are anymore. Like I said, that definitely grips the heart. It definitely does. And like I said, a lot of people, of course, that they can tell you different tips and strategies. I can tell you all the tips and strategies, but that does not mean that it's going to happen with your loved one either. If you know one person with dementia, you know one person with dementia. Everybody's situation is going to be different across the board. They may have some similarities when it comes to communication or when it comes to progression, like different things, but or the hallucinations or all those types of things. But everybody's going to be different. I just spoke about hallucinations. There are people, like I said, other folks that are not caregivers. They don't understand that when you're dealing with somebody that has memory loss, hallucinations and delusions can definitely come into play. Depends on the type of memory loss or dementia that they have. I've seen it all types. People talking to themselves. I've seen people thinking somebody's cheating and constantly calling the police on somebody because they think somebody's stealing their stuff. I've seen all types of things. I've seen the violent parts too. Spouses trying to hurt the husband or the wife because they think that they're someone out to get them. I guess I put it that way. And I know that's the disease, but it's hard, like I said, on caregivers to deal with as well. The main thing that I always try to talk about and say and get out there, I guess, in every support group that I do facilitate is always talking about self-care, which I know a lot of folks, I know it's so cliche and people say that all the time and this kind of thing. But in my mind, the self-care that you want and that you need is going to be specific to just you only. Everybody's going to want to do something different. Some people may want to write and journal. Some folks may take walks or walk the dog. Some folks want to listen to the birds. Some folks garden. Some folks, I don't know, bake cakes, whatever, sew clothes, whatever it is. Read books, look at TV shows. Everybody has their own form of self-care. Even if it's a warm bath, a meditation, no matter what it is, arts and crafts, folks have all types of things for self-care. Even going to therapists, even hiring a therapist or a coach, that is self-care as well. And going through, like I said, memory loss with somebody that you love and that you're grieving who they used to be almost every single day, a therapist would be needed in those situations if you can afford a therapist, or if your insurance pay can cover part of the therapist cost. Because, like I said, it's no joke when you're dealing with somebody with memory loss and your relationship is changing. Like I said, I know a lot of times, I know a lot of people, I can't bring it up at work and that kind of thing either, so I wanted to put it in this video. But I know a lot of times caregivers are talking about the sex is not there anymore. The intimacy is not really the sex, but the intimacy is not there anymore. We used to kiss every morning, say, honey, good morning, that kind of thing. I love you. We used to hug every day. Like I said, it's some folks bring up sex. I mean, I've seen it online, that kind of thing too. And some folks do whatever they want to do in those situations. It depends on the relationship that you have with your partner. Some folks go out and find other partners to be with during this time. That's up to you, and that's your life. I guess I put it that way. But I want to focus more on the intimacy, the hugging, the kissing, the holding hands, because that's what usually people seem to miss a lot more. I guess I put it that way. They're used to doing those things every day, every single day, sometimes twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day, before bed, in the morning, all those types of things. And when those things are lost in that person's head and they have no idea what those things are anymore, that does become an issue with the caregiver. I'm not saying it's a big issue, that type of thing, which I can't say it's not a big issue. It is a big issue because everybody wants love and affection from their partner or crave it or that type of thing as well. They start to get lonely. Loneliness is created in those moments. And over time, when things are just dwindling, not just the intimacy and the sex and the memory and they can't speak in whole conversations much anymore. At some point, they're not going to be able to put the words together. A lot of caregivers are lonely in those situations. Like I said, I know I always, like I said a few minutes ago, talking about self-care, that is greatly important. Greatly important. But along with self-care, the loneliness, like I said, we have to figure out how to create a support system so that we won't be as lonely. Whether that means neighbors, other family members, if you have it, people, I guess if you're still working, so some do still work. If you're at work, you have coworkers, somebody. But like I said, the support groups that I facilitate, those are groups that folks can come to of course, to kind of combat some of that loneliness and to be around folks that's going through the same things that they're going through. Because sometimes with friends and family, all of them don't want to hear all that. what you're going through every day, because it does take a mental toll on you. But of course, telling other folks, they sometimes cannot understand, and some people don't care, unfortunately, and some people just don't want to hear it. So like I said, support groups are definitely a great thing to, of course, to participate in. I guess I put it that way. Because like I said, there's a lot of things that go on, like I said, in relationships, and we get married, and we do all these things, but we don't think about how when they say in sickness and health, no matter whether you're married or not, in any relationship, long-term relationship, we don't think about these things when it comes to having to actually care for somebody. We're thinking just the small things, of course, maybe medication management or that type of thing, but strokes happen, dementia happens, all those types of things happen. It's going to happen, not, I can't say all of us, but for a lot of us, it will. And like I said, some folks aren't prepared enough either to even be a caregiver. That's not nothing that many, from what I hear from everybody, that's nothing that they actually saw themselves doing at all. They were looking at retirement, trying to travel, do all these things. And then, of course, this happened. A diagnosis happened. It's definitely very unfortunate. And like I said, being a caregiver, like I said, you definitely have to take care of yourself any kind of way that you can. I know I say this in every support group, but if you're not able to take care of yourself, you're starting to have health issues, the stress is affecting you, you can stroke out, have a heart attack, the same kind of things as well. And if you go down, then who's going to take care of your partner? It's greatly important that, of course, caring for yourself is number one. I know that's so cliche and folks say it all the time, but it's definitely the truth in whatever way that you know how. Even if that's a minute a day to listen to some music and dance, whatever you do to de-stress, then do those things. I'm not here to judge. I don't care what it is you do, as long as you do the action to help you relieve the stress that you're going through. Because like I said, being a caregiver, caring for your partner is not easy. I've been a social worker almost 27 years now. I've seen it all across the board. And it's not easy. And like I said, my heart definitely goes out to you all with the situations that you're going through. But just know that self-care is available. It's free for you to use and do every single day, as long as you, I'm assuming, hoping that you can fit it in the early morning, late night, when that person is resting or sleep, whatever time you get when that person is resting and down, use that time for your own self-care. And even if you have to seek a therapist or a counselor, that type of thing, there are resources out there for that too. That really does help. So like I said, I know this video wasn't my normal chipper, happy-go-lucky type video, but like I said, I definitely want to speak the truth in this video, because this is what I deal with as a social worker every single day, working with older adults. And if you want to hear more about this kind of, not just with dementia and relationships and that kind of thing, but just working with older adults, maybe the resources is out there. My specialty, like I said, is caregiver support groups, and of course, triaging or working the intake line, I guess, with the calls that may come in for the resources that's in the community that folks may need. I do both of those things. And I also take walk-ins sometimes whenever I'm assigned to be on the, I guess, on the walk-in calendar, to help those folks that are coming in with different issues. I think on the fly all the time. I know every city, every place is different. But like I said, definitely if you need more videos like this from me, with 27 years of social work experience, like I said, definitely let your girl know. Leave me a comment down and just let me know. I can definitely do more videos about this, because I facilitate 11 support groups a month. So I have a lot of knowledge, I guess I put it that way, when it comes to caregiving, caregivers, the illnesses and those types of things, even though it's not like I said, the most chipper and the happiest thing to talk about. But this stuff is real out here, y'all. It's very real. So I'm going to go ahead and get off here, because I know I got to go ahead and get to work. But like I said, definitely, I just want to share this video with y'all this morning. And let me know in the comments again, like I said, if you want to hear more things like this, or information on topics like this, put it in the comments and let me know, y'all. So with that, this is your girl, Tanetta, of course, social worker, certified life and relationship coach. I'll see y'all later. Peace out, y'all. Have a good one.